Thanks, Tim, and great to be with you. And you know, the team at Red River were born ready, so looking forward to the opportunity to talk about Red River. So Red River, we're an Australian-based company. We've got two operating assets in base metals and gold and silver. So we bought the Falanga mine in 2014, put it into production in 2017, and it's been producing some of the best copper, lead and zinc concentrates on the planet since then. In 2019, towards the end of the year, we bought Hillgrove for $4 million in New South Wales, and pretty much at the end of December put that into production, and that started to produce some gold bars for us. So really, Red River's in a very strong position. We've got some fantastic organic growth opportunities now, both at Falanga and Hillgrove and elsewhere. And yeah, in a really good, strong price environment, the business is the best it's ever been. Next slide. So board and management, look, we're operators. So the DNA of the business is, you know, find more ore, mine more ore. And that's what we do. Market cap's about 125 million. We had 15 million in cash at the end of last quarter and no debt. Next slide. So Hillgrove, look, it's about 25 k's from Armidale, a fantastic location. It's a residential workforce, great infrastructure. 730,000 ounces of gold has come out of there over a number of years. There's over $200 million in sunk capital and infrastructure, which we're very, very grateful for. But really the thing that gets me excited at Hillgrove is what you see on the bottom of that slide, and that's we've got 700,000 ounces of gold at about 4.3 grams per tonne. And then there's another 400 odd thousand ounces in JORC 2004 that we're currently drilling and converting. So Hillgrove is a material gold resource and a material gold mine, and there's oodles of upside here. Next slide. Here you can see the first gold bar that we poured at the end of February. We're processing the Bakers Creek stockpile, which will keep us going for about 12 months while we work on stage 2. Next slide. Stage 2 is going underground at Mets. So at the Mets, we've got, it's a modern underground mine, so there's nothing archaic here. There's 3 ore bodies, Syndicate, Sunlight and Blacklode. There's over 400,000 ounces of gold in resource here. And it's a pretty straightforward restart being stage 2. And this will underpin our production for many years. Okay, next slide. And then the add-ons. So the growth options beyond Mets is Eleonora Garibaldi. We're currently drilling that resource to convert the JORC 2004 resources to JORC 2012. We've also got another ore body called Bracken Spur. There's over 230,000 ounces of gold there. We haven't even touched it. But the other thing here is there's over 200 historic mines and prospects in our tenement package. So, you know, we've got decades and decades of prospectivity here, and there's lots of gold, and I'm confident we will keep finding tons and tons of gold here. It's the exploration potential is just absolutely remarkable. Next. So this is an example where you see the historic Eleonora pit. The plant is right next door to that pit on the surface. These are remnants that were left behind, and you can see the holes that we've been putting into these pillars. So, you know, there's anywhere between sort of 7 to about 15 meters at about, you know, 4 to 10 grams per tonne. Fantastic grades near the surface. You know, I can see us, you know, having lots of upside here. So we're drilling this at the moment to convert it. We're finding more ore. The assays are taking a little bit longer, so we're having to drill a bit more, few more holes. But it's all wonderful upside for Red River. Next. So just to summarise Hillgrove, we're up and running. We're producing doré, working on stage 2, which will again be a straightforward restart. And then the add-ons like Eleonora, Garibaldi, Bracken Spur, and that's without discovering anything new, but we're also spinning the bit to find some new ore bodies and extend the ones we've got. So I'm confident we'll keep finding more here. And I guess the wild card at Hillgrove is the antimony. So on an antimony basis, Hillgrove's in the top 10 antimony deposits on the planet. We've got 55 to 60% of Australia's antimony resources at Hillgrove. And the antimony price has doubled in the last 6 months. And everyone's talking about, lithium and battery metals. Where antimony's got a bit of an edge is everyone's talking about sort of EVs. The world is also looking for solutions in large scale energy storage from solar and wind, and a company in the States called Ambry have just developed this technology. They've been working on it for 10 years, but it's being commercialized in a data center in Reno, Nevada, which should be up and running in November. That uses an antimony battery, and if that's a success, then I think it'll be game on at Hillgrove. Next slide. So our other operation, Falanga, which has been our sort of staple diet for many, many years. We're 65 kilometres from Charters Towers in Queensland. We produce some wonderful concentrates there, and we also get gold and silver credits in the copper and the lead cons. Look, there's really good production numbers coming out of there, but again, the thing that gets me excited is at the very bottom of this slide is the 6.7 million tonnes. So we've got a large resource base there and a long future. And you can also see in the picture that we've stitched up most of the mountains are volcanic. So again, we've got over 100 targets here to explore. It's just a matter of systematically working through these deposits. Next. Here you can see our production quarter on quarter has gone up, both copper, lead and zinc. I think we've hit the sweet spot now at Far West, so please don't expect the trajectory just to keep going up like that. But, it's good, solid production in the commodities that the world needs, and you can see the split in our revenue. It's a pretty healthy split between all the base metals and gold. Next. In line with the increase in production, the left-hand graph shows the increase in revenues, and the right-hand graph shows the decrease in the C1 and the C3 costs. Really healthy position at Falanga. Next. Now the future, Liontown. So Liontown's our largest resource at Falanga. It's over 4 million tonnes. Again, it's got licorice all sorts with copper, lead, zinc, silver and gold. But the drilling that we did about 12 months ago really transformed our understanding of this deposit. And we've got over 150,000 ounces of gold in resource there. So we're doing our best to get this permitted as quickly as we can and start this up as our third mine at Falanga. This ore body is still open at depth, open to the west. So there's still lots of drilling to be had here and lots of discovery to be had. And it's exciting times at Falanga as well. Next. So just to sum up Falanga, base metals, copper, lead, zinc, silver and gold, reliable production. It's been in production over 3.5 years for us and over 30 years in total. We've found a lot of ore here in the drilling that we've done, and there's no reason why if we keep drilling we won't keep finding more. Liontown coming up, and we've also started, we are in gold country at Falanga. We've also started exploring for gold, so you never know what we might turn up in that space. Next. And again, this is another sort of wild card in our portfolio. We picked up some tenements near Herberton in North Queensland, and unfortunately the wet season has sort of stopped any activity there, but we did manage to get some work done before that. And so there's been no drilling up here for 28 years, and in the sort of sampling and looking back at what was done there, look, there's some fantastic copper, lead and zinc grades up there. But one of the interesting things here is indium. So this is the highest grade indium prospect in Australia. And indium, for those that don't know, is used in TV screens and solar panels and things like that. But also the silver. So some of the silver grades here in the kilograms per tonne rather than the grams per tonne, some fantastic silver opportunities. So we're really sort of biting at the bit waiting for the wet season to disappear so we can get some work done up there. But yeah, really interesting piece of ground, and never know what will come out of this one. Next. Right, so Red River, Australian-based. We've got operations in Queensland and New South Wales. Gold and base metals. There's some strategic battery metals sitting in our portfolio as well, which you never know what will come of them. Falanga's producing. We've got Liontown as our third mine coming up. Hillgrove's up and running, and we've got, you know, a couple of more stages to expand that over the coming years. Lots of internal growth opportunities in the business, and lots of exploration upside with the drill bit. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel. You look spoiled for choice there. So there's a question here in regards to, you know, allocating capital. Is it gold or zinc or copper? How do you focus capital allocation?
Sure. I think, you know, we look at, it's a little bit like kids, right? You might have 5 kids and it's saying, well, who gets the new shoes, right? Well, look, for us, it's the one that sort of is in the right space. Like if we've got something that's ready to drill that trumps everything else that we got, we go and drill it. So it's pretty simple. Everything is in a different phase from a permitting or from a data collection point of view. But you know, we're not short on things to drill, and I guess the other thing that we do is we do maintain a pretty tight balance sheet. So we haven't done a capital raising since the end of 2016. So, you know, we like to sort of you know, show a bit of restraint in the way we go about things.
And given how strong the operating business is, and you do have such strong assets, is M&A on the cards in terms of looking to pick up additional assets?
Yep, we're always looking at stuff, you know, and there's always lots of interesting stuff. But at the same time, you know, we did pick up Hillgrove just recently, and you know, I guess we've got to be mindful that we don't want to bite off more than what we can chew. Again, it's doubled our opportunities organically, and really we need to deliver those before we embark on anything significant. But we're always looking, and you never know what we'll come up with.
And finally, what can shareholders look out for moving forward in the coming months?
Yeah, so there's lots of exploration that's happening around Falanga. The drilling at Hillgrove for gold, and the resource upgrade at Eleanor Garibaldi. So really looking forward to convert those ounces into JORC 12 and get the portfolio at Hillgrove above 1 million ounces.